We're tracking a nationwide winter storm that's starting to take shape, and we'll see what impacts we'll see here as far as cold air in your long-range forecast.
And then we'll take a broader look at how millions are bracing for this winter storm all over their efforts straight ahead. Plus, week 2 of Alabama's legislative session wrapping up today. How many people or bills have been filed so far, and which ones are moving forward? Coming in a report from Montgomery.
First on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 News starts now.
Well, hi there and welcome in. We are taking a live look, of course, not here. This is in Dallas, and you can see the clouds as it looks cold in this shot, at least. Welcome into Fox News at 4. I'm Shelby Myers. The weather, it's on everyone's mind right now, and we're going to take a look at what's going on locally and what you can expect if you're watching this here in just a moment. But right now, more than half of the U.S. is hours away from one of the most sprawling and menacing winter storms in years that threatens to deliver a potentially historic blow of snow and ice. Again, a live look at Dallas if you're just joining us. This is in Texas, one of the first major cities to feel the impact of this winter storm. And it's where we find Ivan Rodriguez, who has the very latest.
A major winter storm is beginning to spread across the country, expected to bring multiple weather hazards to different regions as it unfolds from Friday into early next week. For the city of Dallas, preparations began days ago.
We've been preparing resources from our public safety departments as well as our transportation crews to pre-treat roads, all the way to preparing an additional 1,000 beds for our unsheltered populations.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced a disaster declaration covering 134 counties to ensure additional resources will be available to the counties to respond to any issues from the storm. In 2021, a winter storm crippled the state's independent power grid and left millions without power for days. More than 200 people died during the crisis, with the most common cause of death being hypothermia. The governor says he's confident the power grid will hold.
The ERCOT grid has never been stronger, never been more prepared, and is fully capable of handling this winter storm. There is no expectation whatsoever that there's going to be any loss of power from the power grid.
At a local hardware store just outside of Dallas, customers have been coming in nonstop trying to prepare.
Our popular item is faucet covers right now. We get people calling right now for a faucet cover. Yesterday, it was all about the ice melt.
Another popular sold-out item, generators.
All this empty wall right here, we had generators sitting up here to the top.
Well, thankfully, this winter storm isn't slated to hit the Foxton viewing area hard as people are preparing for that in other places, but doesn't mean we're entirely spared from freezing temperatures. Let's get the latest from our chief meteorologist, Jason Smith. And again, we're not expected to see extreme weather, but we are going to feel some coolness.
Yeah, we got some cold weather on the way. It's not going to get here until Sunday night, but we actually have a storm tracker alert for a hard freeze next week. In the meantime, we're going to hit almost 70 degrees the next couple of days.
Okay, 70 until we see 20s.
Yes, we're going to see 20s, maybe some teens, and we don't expect wintry weather with this round. We're just looking to be wet, but we will get the cold air eventually. But I want to show you what's happening around the country and around the southeast. We've got the purple is bad, okay? The purple, that is an ice storm warning. We don't even really have that on our legend here because it doesn't happen all that often. But winter storm warning is in the pink. The blue is just a watch or a winter weather advisory in the purple, the light purple. But you get this deeper purple color, and we're talking multiple states, multiple days. One of the areas I'm most concerned about is northern Mississippi, places like Tupelo, Pontotoc, Oxford, Batesville, down to about Grenada and the Delta, Greenwood, Mississippi. Also, I've got some family here in Asheville, North Carolina, and Athens, Georgia, and they're under ice storm warnings. They've got the potential of having enough freezing rain to cause for power outages. The way it works is freezing rain falls as a liquid, and when it hits an object, then it freezes on contact. So it lands on trees and it starts developing icicles and ice all in the tree limbs, and that brings the limbs down, the trees down. It can even directly bring down power lines. So hopefully it doesn't happen like that, but it looks like there's a potential for some major power outages in that area. It's bad to be without power when you have cold air around. It's bad to be without power at any time. As far as us, what we're seeing in our high-res modeling, it's going to be fairly mild tonight. We'll have temperatures down around 50. Tomorrow, we're going to be looking at temperatures that'll get up close to 70 degrees, and we will be watching. You can see the wintry weather off to the north and west. It's not going to get here. We're just going to see rounds of showers and thunderstorms. The first round may come through after sunset on Saturday and into Saturday night. The next round will come in on Sunday, and you can see the winter storm. It's here. All those areas that I was showing you on the advisory map: Arkansas, northern Louisiana, Texas, Dallas. Right now it's raining. It's in the 40s, but it's going to be in the 20s with rain by the end of the night tonight. Parts of Mississippi could see an air temperature around 19 to 20 degrees with rain and thunder. So that's how powerful the system may be. We could have thunder, freezing rain going on in parts of North Mississippi. Tennessee is going to be seeing a good bit of this. Alabama may work out okay, except for far northwest Alabama. Places like Birmingham and Montgomery may be too warm for wintry precipitation. The low is going to track right over Alabama. There's some colder air that's going to wedge down the east side of the Appalachians, though. So places like Atlanta, Athens, Charlotte could see significant icing. And we still have rain here through Sunday. That's our wettest day. Our rain chance is 90% Sunday. That will be followed by a blast of cold air, and our temperatures will drop below freezing around midnight Sunday night. We have a Storm Tracker Alert Day designation for 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, for the possibility of a hard freeze and dangerous wind chills early Monday morning, and then again Monday night and into Tuesday night. So it's going to be quite cold. There's hardly any rain on radar right now. The Futurecast was telling the tale for today. We only expected isolated showers. We haven't seen much. If you've got evening plans, temperatures will be in the 50s. Not a lot of rain around this evening, but there's more to come in your forecast.
Painful is the right word. It just, like, you can feel it on your skin, and it just goes through you.
You just hunker down, stay inside, make sure your pipes aren't freezing. You don't go anywhere unless you absolutely have to. We probably get anywhere from 1 to 3 of these types of days here in the Midwest, which are awful.
I went home for lunch and it was 0 most of the morning, and the sun came out, and now we're sitting at a balmy 1 degrees. And just be grateful for the people that are willing to serve and run those snow plows all night and put salt on sidewalks. That's a really big job for a lot of people, especially in these cold temps.
Yeah, some family members of the Fox 10 News crew in the Midwest are preparing for this dangerous cold. While they're used to winter weather, they say this kind of cold is a different ballgame, biting and unforgiving. In Missouri, Jason Nichols says the snow has not even arrived yet, but the cold alone is chilling to the bone. He says families are ready to work remotely if they have to. They've stocked up on food, gas, and supplies. Missouri is one of several states under a state of emergency. Just one state over, in Illinois, Corey and Angela Fink are already hunkering down after work was canceled. They say they're checking in on loved ones, letting faucets drip, protecting their pets, and staying inside. State officials are warning residents of life-threatening cold, with wind chills expected to drop as low as 40 below through the weekend in some areas. Of course, that's some of our own family, Hannah Fink's family, as well as Ashlyn and Claudia. So just be thinking of them as they are going through that extreme cold. I wanted to check in on some flights because, again, we saw a live look at Dallas, and Jason was saying that Dallas is going to be one of the first areas close by to kind of feel that really, really cold temperature starting tonight. So let's take a look at some of the flights at Pensacola International. You can see here on the departures, it looks like there is a delay on a flight that is leaving to Nashville, but everything else looks to be pretty much on time. And then on the arrivals into Pensacola, there looks to be a little bit of maybe a flight here expected at 4:04, now expected at 3:47, just a little changes, but nothing major. And then let's go over to Mobile's flights as well. It's all on one page, the arrivals and the departures. There is, it looks like, no delays at this time, no major delays, even out of Dallas. Arrivals out of Dallas are on time, Charlotte on time, Houston, Atlanta on time. So some of the major cities coming into our area seem to be all okay. But of course, again, with this severe weather rolling in, all of that could change. If you have flights scheduled in the next couple of days, you're going to want to take an extra careful eye on your flight and stay flight aware to make sure you know if your flight's been canceled or delayed. And just, of course, above all, stay safe. And with this winter weather, you can expect some flight troubles as we talked about, so keep that in mind. But the coldest air of the season is headed our way late this weekend. We're expecting a hard freeze conditions for multiple nights. Sarah Wall is taking a look at what officials are doing to get ready, what they say you can do to prepare, and how to stay safe with temperatures feeling like the teens. In depth with Sarah Wall. Cold Weather Preps is available now. It's on the Fox 10 Gulfstream TV app and our Fox 10 Facebook page. Well, Mobile police say it appears someone was hit by a train. Police say it all started when they got a call this morning after 4 a.m. of a body near the train tracks. When they got there, they discovered the victim. The body was located in a wooded area near homes there. The person who called 911 stayed on scene to help assist in the investigation and to answer questions. Now, as this investigation goes on, the question is where the victim came from and how this happened.
At that point, our officers arrived. It took a while to get back there. It's in a heavily wooded area to get to the railroad tracks. But we did get back there and did determine that there was a male victim deceased right next to the railroad tracks. There's a couple of homeless encampments that are on a little trail on the way back that direction. There's also some homes, so it's still too early to tell where he may have come from or was walking down the tracks at that point. Still not sure.
Of course, this is a developing story, so when we get more information, we will bring it to you on air and online. Week 2 now of Alabama's legislative session wrapped up yesterday. Lawmakers continuing to file bills. The total is now more than 500 between the two chambers. Alabama political correspondent Jessica Umbro has been at the State House all week as we've seen her there and talked to her. She has more about a few of the bills that are moving along in the legislative process, with the ultimate goal becoming law.
Some bills are moving quicker than others through the legislature. This week, some bills passed through committee and now are waiting for a vote from the full chamber. Others got that green light fast.
One bill that the House Public Safety and Homeland Security Committee passed would give Alabamians a digital driver's license option to have in addition to a physical license. It would cost $15 to get, with sponsor Representative Ontario Tillman saying he talked with Alabama's state law enforcement agency about how it could be used in traffic stops.
That's something that Aaliyah and I discussed, which is the reason why we're looking at the tap method or a scanning method that the officer can take to the car and scan it while the phone is in the person's hand.
That bill now moves on to the full House chamber for consideration. On Thursday, by a 98-0 vote, Alabama's House of Representatives passed their chamber's Trey's Law, named after Texan Trey Carlock, who took his own life after being forced into a restrictive non-disclosure agreement with his abuser. House Bill 93 would ban NDAs and other similar agreements from being used to prevent someone from disclosing acts of sexual abuse.
NDAs, members, were created to protect trade secrets, intellectual property, and confidential data, but have since been misused to suppress survivors' stories and shield bad actors from accountability.
We don't know if lawmakers are going to come back on Tuesday as planned. Speaker Ledbetter said conditions in the northern part of the state could make it impossible for some lawmakers to make it to Montgomery by then. We're told a decision will be made by Sunday. Jessica Umbro, Fox 10 News.
All right, Jessica, and Speaker Ledbetter says that budget meetings that were originally scheduled to take place Monday have been rescheduled for Thursday. The legislature must pass the state's general fund and education fund before the session can end. We'll still ahead on Fox News at 4, a heartless scam targeting desperate pet owners. Find out how those scammers are using AI to steal thousands of dollars and the red flags to watch for before you become a victim. But first, let's take a live look outside. It's been overcast today, definitely warm temperatures. You don't need a jacket necessarily when you're out there. The sun has tried to kind of peek through, but it's being overshadowed, of course, by the cloud cover. We'll be right back with more. It is Friday after all. We are preparing for cooler weather come next weekend. So another look at your forecast is coming up.
The NFC Championship presented by Intuit TurboTax, Sunday at 6 Eastern on.
All right, outside right now, it looks okay. It feels really good. We've had comfortable temperatures today, and it gets even warmer this weekend. We've got some showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for the Gulf Coast this weekend. But we also have something else to talk about, a storm tracker alert for cold weather that will be arriving on Monday and Tuesday. We're looking at a potential hard freeze with dangerous wind chills down around 10 by first thing Monday morning. Let's set the stage. This is all coming off of a winter storm. We do not expect winter storm conditions here. The precip will be rain here, but we are looking at an ice storm and a winter storm that is affecting areas from New Mexico all the way up to Massachusetts, all the way up to Boston here. Many states are included in winter storm warnings. The purple is an ice storm warning, which is by far worse. Some of these spots will get lucky to pick up, a half a foot of snow, right? But that's better than ice, which can take your power lines down. It's impossible to drive in. And from Dallas, really, across Texas, northern Louisiana, Shreveport, Monroe, about to Vicksburg, Mississippi, up through the Delta. Jackson, Mississippi may miss some of this. Oxford, Mississippi could get hit really hard. Tupelo into southern Tennessee, Chattanooga, and then northern Atlanta and areas to the east of Atlanta and North Georgia here out towards Athens. The Piedmont of South Carolina and North Carolina included in ice storm warnings. For us, we're going to be plenty warm. Our morning temperatures at 46 on Saturday morning, 58 on Sunday morning. Our cold air comes in Monday, Tuesday, and next week it's going to be a struggle. We may be below freezing all week with our morning temperatures. So this is really a storm in its infancy right now. It's a baby winter storm right now. It's just getting going. And you can see the rain in Texas, but we do have some freezing rain and sleet in places like Lubbock. We've got snow trying to break out around Abilene right now. It's all rain in Dallas now, but it will be in the upper 20s with rain tonight, which is terrible. That's freezing rain. Getting over towards Mobile and Atlanta, nothing much in our area right now. It's quiet. We don't expect any activity this evening. Our futurecast looks like it should be pretty quiet overnight other than an isolated shower. Tomorrow we'll see some scattered showers in the area. Rain chances about 50%. This is what I want you to pay attention to, the first round of rain. Some of the models say a little sooner, but the high-res futurecast, which is typically very accurate, is saying more around dinner time tomorrow with our first round of showers and storms. And you can see the pink on the map. We're going to be at around 70 on Sunday with rain, but there could be freezing rain up close to Jackson, Mississippi by Sunday morning. So it's really just a fine line as to where the cold air is. It's a real shallow layer of cold air. And we could get a couple of stronger thunderstorms around lunchtime Sunday. We're going to watch out for that. We have a low-end severe threat actually here, marginal threat of severe storms. We could see freezing rain with thunder and lightning in northern Mississippi on Saturday morning and Saturday evening as the storm really gets going. But for us, it's going to be rain, showers, thunderstorms, all the messy weather. It's terrible, but it'll be the north and west. It's a big national weather story, and you can see how it affects places up into the Carolinas. Eventually, the rain will end on Sunday, and the colder air kicks in as we head into next week. Most of the icing is going to be up through here, northern Mississippi, southern Arkansas, and then again from about Atlanta up towards Charlotte with significant ice accumulations. Our weekend forecast breaks down like this: a 50% rain chance on Saturday, a 90% chance on Sunday, soaking rains on Sunday, and then very cold air arrives Monday morning, wind chills, and possibly the single digits on Monday morning. We've got Groveville, Monroeville at 8, and Monroeville at 9, Mobile at 11 with a wind chill on Monday morning. Tough temperatures, storm tracker alert for Monday and Tuesday with hard freezing conditions, and lows will stay in the 20s towards the tail end of the week next week.
All right, Jason, thank you. A lot going on in the forecast, so make sure you keep it here on Fox 10 News for the very latest. Well, we've got a heads up now for pet owners. A cruel scam targeting people who have lost their pets. Susan Campbell spoke with a woman who lost more than $1,000 too. She shows us the red flags to watch out for.
Every single day, pets go missing. The search to bring them home is stressful, and scammers use that emotion, that desperate feeling, to cash in.
Nala's a good cuddler.
She sleeps right here at night.
But a couple weeks ago, the 5.5-year-old pit bull lab mix got out. Valerie's been frantically searching for her ever since, posting flyers all over social media.
I've just been worried, sick about her.
So imagine her relief when her phone rang.
Got a call, individual portraying to be a Phoenix police officer. He said his name was Officer McGee. They have my dog.
She was safe, but supposedly had a broken leg.
How do I know that this is my dog? He sent me a picture. It was her. That I knew it was her. She had on her purple collar, her face, markings, everything.
When you requested it, was it pretty quick?
It was pretty quick. And I said, her name is Nala. He goes, yeah, she's responding to that name that appears, wagging her tail. And like he made it very, very, very believable that he had her.
Then the caller asked for money.
He was saying, well, we need to get the vet bill paid. It's roughly $1,700, but whatever you can come up with, we will take that, and then I'll put you in for financial hardship for the rest.
She borrowed $1,300 and Zelled it to the person on the phone. Then he gave her an address where she could go get her dog.
Come to find out, I was sent to the courthouse. Nobody there, closed like Fort Knox, no lights, no nothing.
What went through your mind when you pulled up to that empty parking lot?
First, I was excited that I was going to get her, and then disappointment, rage.
It was all a scam. A fake police officer, an AI-generated photo based on the real photos of Nala from the missing pet posts.
Unfortunately, we hear about these lost pet scams pretty frequently.
Kim Powell with Maricopa County Animal Care and Control says artificial intelligence is making the scams more believable.
The first thing to remember is that we are never going to ask for money over the phone for you to get your pet back.
Police won't either.
Slow down, let your emotions calm down a bit, vet the information. If something sounds too good to be true, or if someone is trying to rush you into immediately sending a Zelle payment, a Venmo payment, something wireless, some sort of wireless transaction that can't be traced, or if it comes to the point where they're saying, hey, can you pay me in gift cards? Those are all red flags that we want you to be aware of.
Sergeant Lorraine Fernandez says it's hard to recover money once it's lost in a scam.
The detectives will have to do a search warrant to see if that's a number that can even be traced. Hopefully that person made a mistake somewhere in order for us to be able to identify them.
Valerie's still desperately searching for Nala.
And all I want is her home.
If someone claims they have your lost pet, choose a safe public place to meet for the handover. I'm Susan Campbell.
Wherever this is, Guy Fieri is king of culinary cool, and he has a brand new look. We're going to show you the shocking transformation. I can't even believe it's him. It's next.
Lexus of Mobile is proud to sponsor the Fox 10 Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Fox 10
Save extra $15 a month on your internet plan. Call 844-EXTREME2 now.
Welcome back. Even if you don't follow cooking shows, there's a good chance you know who Guy Fieri is from his signature look. But who is this guy? The Food Network star shared a video on Instagram for his 58th birthday. Gone are both his platinum spiked hair and signature goatee. Now he looks decidedly less remarkable. Fieri admitted as much, writing, after so many years celebrating my birthday as Guy, I figured this year I'd celebrate it as just a guy. The Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives host did not offer any explanation as to why he made the change or if he intends to keep the new look. Plenty of his followers noticed the transformation. Fieri's son posted a response saying, "Dad, when did you start selling insurance?" I think this is part of a commercial that he's working on. It's hilarious, okay? Hilarious. It's just, he does look like just another guy, you know? Guy Fieri has such that iconic look. We actually went on a bachelorette trip a few weeks ago and dressed up as Guy Fieri, and it was the most fun. We laughed and laughed and laughed. I love Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. It's just a great show. He's hilarious, so unique. And yeah, I'm interested to see what this picture is going to lead to. All right, video game news now from Hollywood, including a new Final Fantasy adventure for Nintendo's new game console. Here's Rick Damigella with more.
What you heard just now were the voices of the planet. Those born into this world, who lived and who died, who returned. They're howling in pain.
Final Fantasy lands on Nintendo's Switch 2 with Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. The first part of the expanded and reimagined telling of the Final Fantasy VII story is out now. Hytale is a game that almost wasn't. The Sandbox Games development was canceled last year by Riot Games, which later sold the title back to its original co-founder. The PC game is available now in early access from the Hytale website. Originally released in 2022, Cult of the Lamb is getting a new expansion. Woolhaven adds new content to the roguelike game and is out now for PC, Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox consoles. Leveling Up in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
All right, next up from us, we're going to take a look at those big breaking stories that are headlining your news at 5. And then this.
They told me that one of the main cells in the battery pack was damaged. And they said, well, we might not get the part until the end of January.
Your car could sit in the shop for months just waiting on a back-ordered part. Next, what experts say to do right away so you don't lose your options. But before that, let's check in with Jason on this forecast.
Well, it's crazy forecast, so major winter storm. I mean, a possibly historic winter storm for other parts of the country, but we're going to see some of the cold air. I'll have more on that coming up.
If you want your best deal
with no shenanigans,
then shop McConnellAutomotive.com.
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 News.
And welcome back into you. It is Friday. We've got a lot of stories our crews are working on throughout the Gulf Coast, so let's get you caught up on some of those coming up at 5. First, new details about a shooting in Atmore that injured 2 people after a block party and car show. We'll tell you about the people police are looking for tonight. Plus, the field is now set for the 2026 primaries. We're taking a look at one of the most prominent races, the contest for Mobile County Sheriff. We'll have those stories and more in about 30 minutes from now on Fox News at 5.
All right, taking a look at our Eastern Shore Toyota Hyundai camera. You can see the clouds hanging in over downtown Mobile from the Admiral, and it looks like we've got a pretty decent situation weather-wise this evening, but it's not going to be so decent for the remainder of the weekend. Lots going on. The big story will be cold air next week. We're going to see warmer air this weekend. It looks very stormy on Saturday night and Sunday, and then we're going to see some of the coldest air of the winter, and we could even be as cold as the teens for lows by Tuesday morning, so we have serious concerns about the cold down the road. Right now, we're watching a winter storm, which is coming together. We've been talking about this for a couple of days. It's going to have a major impact on places other than the central Gulf Coast. It looks like most of the South United States, the southeastern United States, and even the northeastern United States are going to see impacts from a winter storm. It's just beginning. We're getting snow up here around Amarillo right now, freezing rain in Lubbock. It's not freezing rain yet in Dallas, but it's close. We're seeing some sleet in Wichita Falls, Texas right now. So we're beginning to see this winter storm developing basically right on time, right exactly like we expected. Tonight will be the night that this spreads across the southeast. But for us, we're going to see mainly rain-free conditions tonight with comfortable temperatures, lows around 50. Tomorrow we'll warm up to about 70 degrees, and we'll probably see some passing showers on our Saturday. A little bit better chance of rain in the afternoon, and in the evening we could even get a line of a couple of stronger thunderstorms in the area. We're not expecting severe weather with this line, but the next one will have to be watched as it comes through on Sunday. We actually have a marginal severe risk on Sunday, and it's going to be along the actual surface cold front. You can see the possibility of some stronger thunderstorms. All the wintry weather is up closer to Jackson, Mississippi. It could be below freezing to start the morning in Jackson, Mississippi, but in our area, we could be at around 70. So it's going to be a fine line between where the cold air is and where the warm air is. We're going to be on the warm side of this one. Sunday's temperature at 70, rain chance at 90%, soaking rains both Saturday night and Sunday, but very cold air arrives late Sunday night, and the temperatures will really fall off early next week. And our wind chills could be in the single digits or around 10 Monday morning with an air temperature of 23. Tuesday morning, the current forecast is 19. Keep it tuned here to Fox 10 News over the weekend as we continue to fine-tune this developing forecast. Next week could be cold all week with lows below freezing even into the tail end of the week. We're not expecting any wintry precipitation. Right now, it looks like the main issues will be just plain cold air. Shelby?
Okay, bundle up for that locally and pray for those that are getting the worst of it. Well, now to a problem once commonly associated with seniors and older adults may actually be impacting working Americans now. A new study finds nearly 40% of young and middle-aged Americans say arthritis limits their ability to work. Veterans, those without a college education, and Hispanics were more likely to report arthritis as a workplace problem. One researcher says arthritis is commonly misunderstood as a disease of aging and that many people often suffer in silence rather than seek treatment. The researchers say arthritis is treatable. Medication, exercises, and physical therapy can help people manage the symptoms at home and at work. The U.S. and TikTok's Chinese parent company have officially finalized a deal that spins off the app's U.S. assets to a group of American investors. The transaction's close now wraps up a long process that began with President Donald Trump in his first term. At the time, he vowed to ban the app over national security concerns. The announcement comes just one day before the deadline Trump gave to finalize the deal, which TikTok signed last month. American users likely will not notice a visible difference under the new entity's ownership. However, the algorithm that determines what videos that show up in your feed may shift as the ownership group does take control. Well, imagine your car sitting in the shop for months, all because a part is on back order. One Pennsylvania driver says that's exactly what happened to him, and it left him scrambling to get rides. In this Watching Your Wallet, consumer investigator Carice Jackman explains what experts say you should do if you're stuck waiting on repairs.
For Pennsylvania resident Ed Perry, having a car is a necessity to get around his town. So when his Chevy Volt started having problems in December 2024, he says he immediately took it in for repairs.
They told me that one of the main cells in the battery pack was damaged. And they said, well, we might not get the part until the end of January.
But Perry says the date kept getting pushed back.
I kept going back, and it became the end of January, then the middle of February, then the end of February, then the middle of March, and finally the end of April.
And he says even after that, his car still wasn't ready. So Perry says he wrote letters to Chevrolet looking for answers.
And I did not get any response to that, except I had somebody from the executive office call me and said, we have no idea of the ETA on getting that part to you.
He says the wait dragged on for months to the point his warranty was ticking down. He ended up buying another car just to get around.
That car has sit at Stocker Chevrolet from December 30th until close to the end of November, almost a whole year.
After that, Perry says he turned to Lemon Law attorneys and filed a complaint. Lemon Law attorney Robert Silverman says parts delays like this are not unusual, and your options can depend on your state, your warranty, and how long the vehicle has been out of service. He says start by asking for a clear timeline and get a repair order that documents your complaint and that the part is on order. If you're going to be without your vehicle for a while, ask for a loaner. And if the delay drags on or the same problem keeps coming back, he says do not wait too long to get help because some claims have deadlines.
You're going to wait, lose your legal rights. Instead of waiting, get compensation in case it fails again so you can trade it in with their money.
Perry says his case was settled and he eventually got his car back repaired. With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Carice Jackman.
Well, still ahead here at 4, officers play big buck hunter with a large deer trapped inside a bank. And then Mother Nature pre-rolls some snowballs in upstate New York. Check it out. It's all coming up in today's Take a Look at This.
Extremely seriously.
Committed to the Gulf Coast. Fox 10.
All right, Storm Tracker alert. We got cold air on the way, but it's not going to be here this weekend. It's going to be here next week, and it will start arriving in the early morning hours on Monday. So that's where we have our Storm Tracker alert days designated. We're going to see a hard freeze and dangerous wind chills next week. So something to prepare for. You got the whole weekend to get ready for it, right? I mean, you know, your faucets ready for, you know, the outdoor faucet covers, and you got the plants covered. You've got the game plan for the cold. You got all the warm stuff. You're going to need it, but not Saturday and Sunday. All the wintry, we're going to watch this on TV, most of us, or talk to our relatives and say, how you doing? Because we've got ice storm warnings and winter storm warnings around a large geographical area. And this includes the north half of Louisiana. It includes Texas. It includes most of Arkansas and winter storm warnings. The purple is an ice storm warning. That's bad. That's when you see the potential of liquid rain falling and freezing on contact. And then that makes the trees really heavy, the limbs, they fall on power lines. And a lot of people get freezing rain and sleet confused. Sleet is actually an ice pellet. It's frozen raindrops that come down and bounce. So, you know, freezing rain is liquid and it comes down as a liquid, freezes on contact as soon as it hits. A little bit different. We don't have to worry about any of that. We're not seeing any potential freezing rain. Look at our morning temperatures. Sunday morning we're at 58. We got a high of 70 on Sunday. But where we see the cold air is after the precipitation being gone, and 23 Monday morning, 19 Tuesday morning, 26 on Wednesday morning, wind chills to go along with it. The winter storm is starting to develop in Texas, and we can see it in northern Texas right now up to the Red River. It's not freezing rain yet in Dallas. That happens later tonight. And this is just a storm in its infancy. It's just starting to get organized. Our Futurecast is telling us that our rain comes in mostly second half of the day tomorrow. I'm expecting scattered showers after lunchtime, light showers, and then maybe some storms Saturday night. We're going to get another round on Sunday. We could even see a couple of severe cells on Sunday. We have a level 1 marginal risk for severe weather there. And then into Sunday afternoon, more storms. Our cold air comes in on Sunday night. Here's your weekend forecast.
All right, thank you, Jason. The Transportation Secretary Administration releasing its yearly roundup of the most bizarre items passengers have tried to sneak through security. And the findings are pretty baffling. TSA released its 2025 roundup. The items include bullets and knives hidden in tinfoil, a firearm in a golf bag, bullets in strawberry Nesquik, a knife in a child's car seat, pills in a shampoo bottle, a knife in a knee brace, drugs hidden in shoes, razor blades in clothes, and among the weirdest of all, 2 turtles found in a traveler's pants and bra. Yeah. But realistic replicas of explosives found at the Boise Airport in Idaho topped the agency's list. Even replicas, the agency says, are not allowed in checked or carry-on bags. That is quite a list. It always is crazy. Just remember, don't bring what you're not supposed to, of course, when you go to fly. Well, the discovery of a full-grown male deer trapped in a bank led officers to play a cat and mouse game with the freaked out buck. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
Police responding to a burglary alarm at a bank in New York were surprised to learn the culprit inside was, in their words, a buck. looking for bucks. Video shared by the Suffolk County Police Department shows the officers encountering a full-sized male deer they say had crashed through a window and become trapped inside the bank amidst loud ringing alarms, which it clearly wasn't digging, as it frantically thrashed and crashed around the office looking for an escape. Careful to avoid the buck's sharp antlers, officers were eventually able to corner and corral the freaked out animal and carefully direct it back through an exterior window where it galloped off, a newly freed furry felon. Here's a video that'll make you say, "Oh dear." Video posted on Canada's Parks Department shows the moment a skier descending the so-called Vortex Run near Lake Louise triggered and became trapped in an avalanche.
Oh, avalanche, avalanche.
The post said the skier was carried to the bottom, was buried up to their waist, and lost both skis, but was otherwise unharmed. The department said the ski party willingly shared the video so it could be used to inform and warn other recreationalists of the risks of the run. Well, the weather outside is horrific, but hey, at least the snowballs are terrific. And in places like upstate New York, sometimes they come pre-rolled. A combo of snow and strong winds created a rare byproduct called snow rollers, littering a neighborhood in all-natural, wind-wound snowballs. Think tumbleweeds, but for snow. By the way, cameras captured the freezing phenomenon in the town of, wait for it, chilly New York. Sometimes these things just write themselves. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
I just gotta say, as Chief Meteorologist Jason said, he's very impressed. He's never seen anything like that. The wind making snowballs. Pretty incredible. All right, he's a farm dog with an incredible story. A red heeler, who lost his sight but never lost his spirit. Find out how this amazing dog continues to inspire coming up.
Toyota Tundra SR5 for $439 a month for 39 months with 5438 due signing. Toyota, let's go.
A dog in Kentucky that has lost his sight is using his newfound celebrity status to send a powerful message. Goose is a farm dog and is now a finalist in a popular nationwide contest. Megan Mannering spoke with his owner about why he's just so special.
Against the Red Barn on the rolling hills of Pendleton County, Lindy Huffman introduces us to a dog named Goose.
Goose was introduced in the summer of 2013, and it was very a natural fit. He was the very first puppy that came and ran up to me, and he snatched the harness out of my hands and took off with it, and I think in that moment I knew that he was mine, and I was his. So he kind of chose me in that moment too.
For a dozen years, this red heeler has brought in cattle, followed rows during tobacco planting, and supervised the greenhouse. Oh, and he's just been selected as one of 3 national finalists for the People's Choice Pup Award.
He's been getting a lot of traction. It's not going to his head too bad yet.
The honor is well deserved, but the true measure of Goose's impact is found in the hearts of his humans.
You're the goodest. Yeah, the goodest. Because he was right at that transition in my life. The transition of my career, the transition of coming home, the transition of getting married. He was at our wedding. And he means so much to me because he's my reason for getting up every day.
Which made the decision that much more painstaking for Lindy and her husband Robert when Goose began losing his eyesight in 2021 and developed glaucoma.
So we tried drops and they didn't work, and we made the tough call to have a double enucleation and remove both of his eyes. And we were worried, is he still gonna love the same? Is he still gonna adventure the same? Is he still gonna, farm the same?
Why don't we let Goose answer that?
Now I see in a different way. I know every turn in the gravel path, every dip in the pasture, and every morning I still walk to the Red Barn because that's what farm dogs do.
When vision faded, instinct and heart stepped forward to lead. In his video for People's Choice Pup, Goose shares some wisdom from his point of view.
This life is not about what you've lost. It's about what keeps you going.
For the no-eyed wonder dog, what keeps him going is simple. The farmer's market with Lindy, morning yoga, a good butt scratch, and the routine of a hard-working farm dog.
I think Goose's story teaches people not to give up. And just because we lose something doesn't mean that we're lost. It could be the loss of our sight like Goose has, but life keeps going, the world keeps turning, and we have to keep going every